In 2020, due to the impact of the pandemic, the anime industry in Japan was hit hard. Other than the winter 2020 anime, the quality of anime in the other 3 seasons have obviously decreased. This is especially noticeable in the summer anime. All the anime in that entire season add up to only half of the other seasons. I originally expected that ReZero, My Youth Romantic Comedy, and Sword Art Online could carry the other anime. But as a result, one of them failed because they wanted to describe realistic campus life, which led to a rather boring watch. The other wanted to describe the cruel results of war, which resulted in a lot of disgusting and bloody scenes. And the last one was split into 2 parts for broadcasting. But because of the suspension and postponement of a large number of anime in the previous year, a large number of high-quality anime will be broadcasted in the winter of 2021. Whether it's a sequel or a new anime, any of them will have the opportunity to compete for the best anime of 2021. First up, let's talk about the 2nd season of Cells at Work. There's not much to say about the plot of this anime. This anime impersonates all the cells in the human body, telling the daily life of the cells and popularizing some physiological knowledge to the viewers. Compared with other winter anime, this anime has some obvious advantages. That is, its uniqueness. In the recent years of Japanese anime, the rare anime that earnestly carry out popular science knowledge to the audience is Cells at Work, and carrying out anime production knowledge is Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. Of course, if you think that drstone is also a popular science anime, then that's fine too. However, Cells at Work, this type of anime, also has a huge disadvantage. That is, if the viewer becomes familiar with this anime's cliche, it will lose its freshness and the interest will plummet. So, rather than Cells at Work Season 2, I recommend its side series Cells at Work Black. If the characters in Cells at Work are working happily in the body of a healthy, young high school girl, then the characters in Cells at Work Black are in the body of a middle-aged man with obesity and various bad habits, and they must fight numerous diseases and viruses to protect the body. According to the trailer, the gender and personality of all the characters have been completely changed. Although the animation style is similar, it's full of bloody and violent scenes, directly changing from the previous work, Order a Rabbit, to the current School Live. However, I still think that Cells at Work Black, whether in terms of education or warning, is much fresher and more exciting than the original Cells at Work. Next is the 2nd season of another scientifically significant anime, drstone. This anime story starts off when one day, the Earth is suddenly attacked by a mysterious green light, causing almost all human beings to be turned into stone. After 3,000 years, the protagonist of this anime, Bulbasaur, wakes up and begins to resurrect the human race from that doomsday, through science. I personally think that drstone has been in a particularly awkward state since the 1st season. In terms of popular science anime, this anime makes science too simple and exaggerated. For example, in the back of the manga, there is a plot where they use electrolytic sweat to make sodium hypochlorite in order to corrode a rope and escape. But from the perspective of an adventure and shonen anime, the battle scenes and villain motives in drstone are also a bit strange. Obviously, the manga author didn't combine these 2 different elements well, because no one wants to watch the protagonist sit down and discuss scientific theories for 10 minutes, or suddenly have a Katon Gogekyo no Jutsu appear when they start fighting. But even including these negatives, the level of enjoyment that drstone brought me in the 1st season was fantastic, especially the scene where the light bulb lit up, which gave me a huge impression. If the 2nd season of this anime can continue to give me or other viewers an impression, and make the younger viewers more interested in science, then the 2nd season of drstone would be considered a successful work. The next work I want to recommend is the 3rd season of Loghorizon. There may be many viewers who are not familiar with this anime, because its 2nd season was broadcasted 6 years ago, so I'll briefly explain the plot of this anime. Simply put, it's about a large number of people trapped in the world of a game. They have to survive in this world and find a way to get back. It sounds a bit similar to Sword Art Online, both belonging to the MMORPG isekai type anime, but it's not an exaggeration to say that compared to Loghorizon, all other MMORPG anime are just like fast food. Like Hunter x Hunter being different from other adventure anime, Loghorizon's author Mamare Tono is good at creating a new world, in which the characters' personalities, the relationships between the NPCs and the players, all the details during battles, and even the operation of the economy are all reasonable. This makes Loghorizon more like a real world compared to other MMORPG anime, not just a list of zeros and ones of binary coding. The biggest trait of this anime is that after death in this game, the players can sacrifice a part of their memory to resurrect themselves, and most of the players, including the protagonist, are veteran players above level 90, decreasing part of the excitement while enhancing the flexibility of this anime. By the way, a sequel to this anime actually surprises me the most, because the author of Loghorizon was sentenced to a 10-month probation for tax evasion. Generally speaking, such scandals will have a huge negative impact on a work, so I always thought it would be impossible for Loghorizon to have a 3rd season. But Loghorizon used facts to tell viewers that a good work will not be undermined from scandal or time. In any case, I highly recommend that those of you who are used to reading light novels about MMORPGs to take a look at Loghorizon. After watching it, you will discover the charm of this kind of anime and what a real MMORPG anime is like. That's it for the sequels, because there's so many nice watches, and I would like to recommend some of the new anime of 2021, whose quality will not be much worse than those sequels. The most pleasant surprise among all the new anime is Mushoku Tensei, whose trailer I watched last year. The exquisite graphics and epic music coupled with a 16:9 screen ratio shows the anime's ambition to reach the level of films. At the same time, this anime's company, Studio Bind, is a new company invested by White Fox. Obviously, it wants to imitate UFO Table and rely on the popularity of a single anime series to become famous within the anime industry. However, don't look forward to this anime too much. Although I gave this trailer a high evaluation, many people think that this anime's light novel is the pinnacle of isekai light novels, but the plot in the beginning is still pretty cliche and relatively slow. Assuming that this anime has only 13 episodes, it may not even get to reach the first climax of the story. So I'm still a bit worried about whether this new company, with the help of White Fox, can make this anime as good as its light novel. There are also two other new isekai anime works. The first one is So I'm a Spider, So What? The anime style is a bit similar to Slime, both of which are about the protagonist reincarnating into an isekai to become a creature other than a human. Obviously, compared with the animation quality of Slime, the quality in Spider is not so good. In most cases, the protagonist is a 3D model, but you know, the 3D models of Japanese anime, other than Studio Orange, are mostly a joke. However, the lacking of the animation quality can be compensated for by the excellent cast voice performances, especially the protagonist cast voice, Aoi Yuki. So, let's see how important a cast voice is to an anime.
私は今ここに改めて宣言する。ああ、神よ。貴様を切り刻んで豚の餌にでもしてやると。クソタレの神に我らが戦場は不似合いだ。今こそ神の仕事を肩代わりしてやろうではないか。我ら将兵のあるうちは我々が神にとって変わるのだ。傲慢な神とやらを失業させてやれ。
Well, although most of this season's anime quality is pretty good, there's still a portion of works with below average quality. Among them, the anime redo of Healer can be called a dumpster fire. Don't think that just because of its harmonious image cover that you can treat this as a slime-like anime telling a story about living a leisurely life in an isekai. Its essence is like the anime King's Game, full of a dark and disgusting plot. All in all, it's about the protagonist as a healer who was betrayed by his teammates and then reincarnated to the beginning to start his revenge against his teammates. The type of revenge is also quite simple. If he sees a man, he just... If he sees a woman, he just goes to bed with her. The quality of the trailer is almost the worst of the season. The protagonist acts like a psycho, so unless you have some unique tastes, it's best not to watch this trash. So there you have it, some of the winter 2021 anime that I have introduced. Most of the shows are high quality and the sequels are great watches too. Also, this video only has half of what I had intended to include, because one video is barely enough to talk about half of the anime this season, and I'll talk about the rest of the anime that interests me in my next video. So, I'll see you all next week.